Okay. So what is the topic, guys? Can you put that in the chat box? What is the topic for today? What is the topic for today? Object oriented thinking. Let me write it over here. Okay. So today's topic is object, yeah, oriented thinking. We are not doing programming today. We are only doing thinking, object oriented thinking. Okay. So whatever I teach you today, okay, can be applied to any object oriented programming language. Okay. So in today's session, I'm not talking anything about Python or any particular language for that matter. I'm teaching in general. What do you mean by object oriented thinking? Okay. So what is that? So the same concepts, whatever I teach you here today, can be applied to any object oriented programming language. Is that okay? Just say okay if you're okay with this. Just say okay. Is that okay? Yeah. Having said that, right now, let me begin with one question. Okay. What do you think, what do you think are the factors that makes any programming language object oriented in nature? You can unmute yourself and you can talk to me. Okay. So what do you think is that what are those factors which makes any programming language object oriented in nature? Why do you call any programming language as object oriented programming language? What are those features, or what are those factors, or what are those things, or what are those elements that makes any programming language object oriented in nature is my question. Okay. So if you know something, you can unmute yourself and talk to me. We'll have a discussion. No, you don't know. What is it? I think you must at least know some basics at least. Just say if you can unmute yourself, or you want me to call someone randomly. Guys, tell something, no, so that we'll not waste our time. I don't want you to just sit simply or tell me something. Lakshmi Krishnappa, what do you think is that which makes any programming language object oriented in nature? Lakshmi Krishnappa, am I audible to you guys, by the way? Lakshmi Krishna ran away. Revanappa says, don't. Okay, okay, okay. So, Bhavana, what do you think?
Sir, when we need the help of objects in order to access or use any functions.
So that is what. Danya Manjunath, can you speak to me, Danya Manjunath? Is it okay? You are right. What you told is right. Can you
Yes,
tell
sir.
me? Danya is there? You're
Yes,
speaking?
sir. Yes, sir.
Can you be louder, Danya Manjunath?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but the voice is very low.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, what is it? What are those features? You told right. Very good. It's correct. Tell me, when does a programming language become object oriented in nature? Tell me, what are those? What are those factors?
Object-oriented concepts like polymorphism, inheritance, and abstraction.
Okay, what else?
Data mining.
Data mining.
Data hiding.
Okay, data hiding is nothing but abstraction. Okay, then.
Okay.
Okay, so you know what are all these, or you just know the names? That's all.
I know. I know that, sir.
You know all this?
Yes, sir.
What does it mean and all that, you know?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so be with me. I want your help. Okay, so what you
Okay, sir.
told is right, Jia Jyoti, right? Okay, so Dania missed encapsulation.
Encapsulation. Yeah.
Okay, so see what makes any language, object oriented in nature is that it has to support these features. Okay, so which are those features that it has to support? The first one is, okay, let me call it as, the first one, rather than getting on with encapsulation, the first one I would call it as, okay, classes and objects. Okay, so the introduction of classes and objects into a particular language is what, okay, is one of the feature which makes a language object oriented in nature. That is first thing. Okay, guys, very important session today, so listen to me very carefully. Okay, so the first feature that makes any programming language object oriented in nature is basically class and objects. Okay, so when you consider C is a procedure oriented language or object oriented language?
Procedure-oriented.
It is basically a procedure oriented language. So your C language does not have classes and objects and all that. It has a structure and it has an object, but it does not fully support object oriented features. Okay, so now the second one is, I call it as encapsulation. I call the second feature as encapsulation. Okay, this is one of the feature. So the next feature I call, as Danya Manjunath said, polymorphism. Okay, the third feature, polymorphism. Okay, I don't know if you guys have heard about all these terms, but still, okay, polymorphism. And then inheritance. Inheritance is again one of the feature. Okay, and then you have something called as abstraction. Okay, abstraction is another feature of object oriented programming languages. Okay, so any other feature, if you know, you can put that in the chat box. Okay, so Danya said data hiding and all that. Data hiding is nothing but encapsulation. Okay, so anything else, if you know anything else, you can tell me. One more. Okay, it is basically message passing, massage passing. Kirtana wants to massage passing. Okay, message passing, no, message passing is not a feature. Okay, no, that is not an object oriented feature. Message passing, you can do it in even C also. Okay, that is not what is that, object oriented feature. So one more thing is called as composition. It's called as composition. Okay, so these are the features which actually makes any programming language or object oriented programming language. So what are those classes? Objects, okay, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction, and composition. These are the most important features that will make any programming language object oriented language. If a programming language supports these features, then you can actually call that programming language as object oriented programming language. Is that okay, guys? Did you understand this? Okay, did you understand? These are the features which any procedure oriented language will not have that. Okay, yeah, so these are the features. Now shall we go through one by one? What are these and all that? Shall we go through one by one, guys? Are you all ready? Are you all ready? Shall we go through this one by one? Yes or no? I want everyone to say yes. Okay, so do we have Danya on call? Do we have Danya on
Yes, sir.
call? Yeah, Danya.
Yes.
Danya, what do you mean by a class and what do you mean by an object?
Class is a blueprint, sir. I mean, it's like it contains member functions and methods. I mean,
Okay.
variables and member functions.
Variables and member functions. Okay,
An object is an instance of a class.
it's an instance of a class. Okay,
Um, it's like a class is like, for example,
Hmm.
vehicle is a class, whereas the cars, motorcycle, auto, rickshaw, bus, and all, they are objects of the class vehicle.
okay, okay. So you are right, but still more in detail. Can you more tell me what is exactly?
Um,
You are right. You are
yeah,
actually right. Okay, vehicle is a class, and a car and all those things are objects of
objects.
that class. Correct. Okay. So
Yes.
what does it indicate? What does it indicate? You
It
are
is
right.
like
You are actually right.
we can have only a one single class, and there can be many different objects for that class.
Okay, so what does this class basically indicate? Yeah, others I'll explain you. Okay, let us talk to Danya and we'll try to get more features. Yeah, so what exactly is this class? I mean, you said it is a blueprint and all that. So what exactly do you mean by this class? What does it say?
So whatever we define in the program, whereas it is the class name or the methods in the class,
Hmm.
they're all. I mean, I don't know how to explain this, but
If you know, you must explain. No, if you know, you must explain.
yes, sir, but I'm not. Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else in that who knows? Just say yes in the chat box if you know, so that I can ask you. Or if you know, you can just say unmute yourself and talk to me. Anyone else? Okay. Okay. Should I take remove this from the screen? By the way, Danya, you be. I want to talk to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So be online. Okay. So I'll explain this. So you said class is a blueprint and object is okay. Okay. Tell me something about object. More about object. What do you know about object?
Objects are instances of a class.
Yeah, that is what you see in textbooks and all that. Correct. Class
Yes,
is a
sir.
blueprint and the object is an instance of a class and all that. So I don't want anything bookish. I want something in real time. What do you mean by that, or how does it work, or why do you need objects and all that?
Okay, we create a class. We create an object, and then we can call an object in the class using a dot operator.
Yeah,
Um,
you are coming into that programming thing. No,
yeah,
I'm generally asking you what do you mean by an object actually.
yes, sir. So it is
Oh,
like whenever you define a function,
hmm,
um, and then when it is globally defined,
hmm.
you can use an object, and then
No, why do you need object? Like, what exactly is an object? I'm not still happy with that answer. What exactly? You are right, but you're all you are saying me what you write in exams and all that. Correct. So
Yes,
my
sir.
question is, what exactly is an object? What do you mean by a class? How do you differentiate between a class and an object? If suppose I'm telling you differentiate between class and object, what will you say?
A class is a mega data. It is something like supreme, whereas object is the subclasses of.
Object is a subclasses.
Yes, sir.
No, object is object. Object is not a class or subclass. No,
Okay.
object is not a class. Object is object. There is a difference between class and object. What are they? Okay, so shall I explain?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so can I remove this from the screen here? Shall I remove this from the screen? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so listen to me. The first thing is, let me talk about classes, okay, and then objects. Classes and objects, okay. Now listen to me carefully, guys. Listen to me carefully. Whatever Dhanya Manjuna told is really right, okay. But only thing is, she has been telling in the way, you know, how it has been written in books and all that, okay. So now let me tell you what are these, okay. Objects are nothing but real-time data or real-time entity, okay. So please stop writing, and listen to me like a story. Don't write down anything, okay? So just listen to me like a story. I'm going to explain you a lot of things, okay. So instead of writing classes and objects, I will write class and an object. So listen to me, okay. Class and an object, right? Now Danya, you can unmute yourself, I mean mute yourself. I'll talk to you later, okay. Yeah, so object is nothing but, okay, some real-time entity that will occupy space. It has a behavior, okay, and has a state. Object is something which will occupy what? Which will occupy space. It has a state, okay, and it has a behavior. This is basically called as an object. I know everything would be new to you, but it's very important you understand it in this way and not in a bookish way, okay. So object is nothing but a real-time entity, or a real-time data. Subhash is an object, okay. Lakshmi Krishnappa is an object. Jyoti is an object, okay. Bhavana is an object, okay, which occupies space. See, I'm sitting on a chair. I occupy space, correct? Lakshmi is also sitting on a chair, okay. She occupies space. She cannot just float, right? So she has to sit somewhere. She occupies space. She has a state, or Subhash KU has a state, okay. What do you mean by state? State is not Karnataka state, Tamil Nadu state, Andhra state. I'm not talking about that state. State is something like, you know, Subhash has a color, okay. Subhash has a language to speak, okay. So Subhash has a height, Subhash has a weight, okay. These are called as the state. And Subhash has a behavior. What do you mean by behavior? Subhash talks, Subhash runs, Subhash walks, Subhash eats. They are all called as behavior, okay. So object is nothing but any real-time entity that occupies space, that has a state, okay, and then it have a behavior. If it contains all these three, is when you call that as an object. Is that okay? Is that okay? Just keep this in mind. I'll give you more and more examples. Everyone, if you're not okay, you can say not okay. I'll give you examples, okay. Don't worry, okay. An object is anything, okay. Danya Manjunath, am I right? Danya Manjunath,
Yes, sir. You're right.
am I right? Why didn't you say this then before, Danya Manjunath?
Yes, sir. The thing is, I gave an example of a vehicle. So
Even that has a behavior.
yeah.
Even vehicle, okay.
Yes.
Even if you take a bike, you know, Royal Enfield, okay, Bullet 350, even that
Yes.
will occupy space. That has a state, okay. It has a color, it has a height, it has a weight, and all those, right? And it has a
Yes.
behavior, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Any object that occupies space, that has a state and have a behavior, is basically called as an object. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Then what
Also,
is,
sir,
ah,
can I explain one point?
yeah.
Yeah. So human being is an example of an object, whereas a function, eating, sleeping, and all, those are the methods or the behaviors.
No, wrong. No, wrong.
Okay.
Human being is not an example for object. Human being is an example
Class.
for a class. You
Okay,
getting
sir.
it? Human being is an example for a class, and Subhash is an example for object.
Object.
Okay, Lakshmi Krishnappa is an example for object. You're getting what I'm saying, Danya Manjunath? Am I right?
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no?
Yes.
So what is any an object is nothing but it should be real, in real time, okay. And class is nothing but which describes how the object should look like, is basically called as a class, okay. class will describe how the object should look like. Okay, that is basically called as a class. So in programming terms, class is basically called as a type. Okay, and object is basically called as the actual data. Okay, how this data should look like is described by the type. Yes or no? Did you understand this, guys? Yes, no? Yes, no, I want you to put that in the chat box, right? So class is basically a type or a blueprint which indicates how the object should actually look like, where object is the actual data, and how this object should look like must be actually, described by the class. Okay. Kirtana A is telling memory is allocated in object, whereas in class it does not. Kirtana, I did not understand what you're writing. Anyways, listen to me, Kirtana. We'll discuss that later. Okay. Now listen to me carefully. Okay. I'll give you one more way to identify a class and an object. Listen to me. Okay. Very simple way. Okay. If they ask you in an interview, how do you identify a class and object? You must be able to say this very clearly. It's a very high level term. I'm talking in terms of design, not in terms of code. Today, I will not be discussing anything in code. Only thing I'll be discussing is design terminologies. That's all. Okay. So object oriented design I'm talking about, right? So anything that you can actually, if suppose I tell you a word, if I tell you some word, and if you close your eyes, and if you get a definite picture of a particular word that I've used, okay, if you get a definite picture of it, then that is basically called as an object. If you do not get a definite picture of that, then it is basically called as a class. Did you get that? It's very simple. It's as simple as that. I will give you a word, and when you close your eyes, and when you can actually get that definite picture in your mind of that particular object that I actually spoke, or that word that I actually told you, if you are getting a definite picture, okay, a real picture of that particular word, then that is nothing but an object. If you are not getting a real picture of that particular object, right, then it is basically called as a class. Okay, shall we do some exercise now? Are you ready? Shall we do an exercise? Yes, no, guys? Yeah. Now, having said that, say for example, okay, say we'll talk to Danya Manjunath. Okay, Danya Manjunath, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Danya Manjunath. Okay, so Danya Manjunath, clothes. Close your eyes. Everyone can close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. And the moment we say clothes, what comes to your mind? Jyoti, close your eyes. No, I'm asking you to close your eyes. Yeah, close your eyes. Okay, so when I say clothes, okay, I'll give you some time. Clothes. This is the word. Okay, now open your eyes. Now open your eyes. Okay, now tell me, did you get a definite picture in your mind about clothes? You did not get. Put that in the chat box. Did you get? You did not get. Did you get? You did not get. Okay, clothes. Clothes. Or a cloth or a clothes or whatever it is. You did not get a definite picture, right? Why you did not get a definite picture? You did not get a definite picture because when you said clothes, lot of clothes came into your mind. Shirt, pant, jeans pant, t-shirt, skirts, lot of things came into your mind, and you did not know which clothes, right? So when it was not specific exactly, so you did not know it was not specific, right? So that is basically called as a class. That can be called as a class. Okay, this will describe a class, right? Now, okay, close your eyes once again. Close your eyes once again, everyone. Okay, close your eyes. Human being. I'm saying human being. Human being. Okay, human being. And now open your eyes. Now tell me. Now tell me. Open your eyes. Krishnapa, you slept or what? Don't sleep, Krishnapa. Okay, open your eyes. Yeah. So when you opened your eyes, human being is there. No, now which human being came to your mind? Lakshmi Krishnapa, tell me. Which human being came? Which human being came? Don't tell
Too
Ritik
many
Roshan
people,
came and all
sir.
that. Hey,
Too
Ritik
many
Roshan
people.
came, no? Ritik Roshan?
Yeah.
Didn't come? He
No,
came,
no,
no?
no, sir.
He didn't come? Okay. So you
No,
did not.
sir. No, sir.
Okay, fine. So you did not get any specific human being, isn't it? So now human being is a class or an
Yes,
object?
yes.
It's a class
Class.
or object? Tell me. Put that in the chat
It's
box,
a
no,
class,
everyone.
sir.
Why are you waiting? Put that in the chat box. Yeah, it's basically a class, correct? No? Now, okay, I'll give you one more example. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Okay. Close your eyes. Blue jeans. Blue jeans. Blue jeans. Okay. Now open your eyes and tell me whether you got blue jeans in front of your mind. Yes, no. You got a blue jeans in front of your mind. No. Yes or no. Everybody got, right. Right. So that is basically called as an object. Okay. So you have some definite picture of it, right? Blue jeans. Blue jeans is basically, okay, an object, okay, of type clothes. Did you get that? Okay, blue jeans is a kind of clothes, right? Yes or no? It's a type of cloth, no? Okay, blue jeans is a type of cloth. So the one which describes the type of this object is basically called as a class. Okay, and blue jeans is basically called as an object. So you can say object is of the type clothes. That is, sorry, blue jeans is of the type clothes. That is, blue jeans object is of the type class clothes. Did you understand this, guys? Okay, did you understand this, what I'm trying to tell you? Yes or no? Everyone, tell me if you understood this. Okay, listen to me very carefully, right? Now, okay, close your eyes. Now, close your eyes. I'll tell you one more. I'll give you one more object. Okay, I'll give you one more object. Okay, so Subhash. Subhash. Okay, Subhash. Yes or no? Who came to your mind? Tell me. Who came to your mind? Who came to your mind? I came. Okay. Okay, fine. I came, right? So I am, so definite picture of mine came into your mind, correct? No? Right? So what is Subhash now? Tell me, what is Subhash? What is Subhash? What is Subhash? It's Subhash is an object, correct? Object of what type? Object of what type? Object of what type? Human being type. Therefore, human being becomes what? A class. Okay, Subhash becomes what? Object. Did you understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Okay. Now I'll give you one more. Okay. Car. Close your eyes and say car. Close your eyes and car. Okay. Now tell me, did you get a definite picture of that? Tell me, did you get a definite picture of that? You did not get a definite picture of a car. There are so many cars. Yes or no? There are so many cars. Okay. So car will become what? Is basically a class. Correct? No. Now, if suppose I say i20, Hyundai i20, Hyundai i20. I've already given you the model number and all that. Hyundai i20. Did you get a car picture in your mind? Yes, no. Did you get that? Yes or no? Jyoti did not get a. Why Hyundai i20? You got no? Yeah. Hyundai i20 is basically an object, an object of type car class. Yes or no, guys? Did you understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? So basically, so what is an object? Object is basically a real-time entity for which you get a definite picture. Okay, a real-time entity which actually has a space, which occupies space. It will have a state and then it will have a behavior. Is that okay? Is that okay? Until you say okay, I'll not be able to. If you did not understand, ask me once again. I can explain you once again. Don't simply say okay. You're getting what I'm saying? Don't simply say okay, okay, and all that. If you don't understand, ask me. Okay, so these are real-time objects. Okay, now when you say clothes, that is not a real-time object, but these classes will describe how the human being should look like. Yes or no? You getting it, guys? Yes, no? Okay, this will human being will tell, or this class will tell how your object should look like. Yes, no, guys? Okay, now which will occupy space? Tell me, which will occupy space? Object will occupy space or class will occupy space? Which will occupy space? Object only will occupy space. Okay, class will only tell how my object should look like. You can create n number of objects. Okay, so when you say human being class, I can create Subhash out of it, I can create Srihari out of it, I can create Sangram Biradar out of it, I can create Revanappa out of it, I can create Prabhakar out of it, I can create Naresh out of it, I can create Pawan out of it, I can create Subhash out of it. I can create lot of objects out of this particular class, because this human being, see, human being means it is common for all objects. Yes or no? No, answer my question. When you say human being class, human being is same. No, human, Subhash also human being, Lakshmi also human being, like that. Everybody are human being. Correct? Now the properties of a human being will be the same. Human being can talk, human being can walk, human being can run. They're all called as what? They're all called as what? They're all called as what? Guys, tell me. When human being can see, okay, can I remove this from here? Can I remove this from here? Okay, yeah. Say, let me take human being class. Okay, human being class. Who is can you please unmute, I mean mute here? Who is in guys? If you have what is that? If you are unmute, just mute yourself, please. Dhanya Manjunath, you are who was that? Okay, right. So we have a human being over here. So human being can actually say, I'll tell you. Okay, human being can talk. Human being can walk. Human being can speak. Human being can, run. Yes or no? Human being can eat. You understanding it? What are these called as? What are these called as? What are these called as? They are called as actions. They're called as actions, or they're also called as behavior. They're also called as behavior, actions or behavior. Did you understand this? Yes or no? So talking, walking, speaking, run, eat, all these are behavior of human being class. You're understanding it? Now let me tell you. Height, okay, weight. Now tell me height, weight, name. Okay, so what are these guys? Tell me. If I write height, weight, name and all that, what are these? What are these? These are basically a state. These are basically called as the state of a particular, state defined by this class. So human being class will say that any object that is being created of my type should contain height, weight, name, and they should be able to talk, walk, speak, run and eat. You're understanding it? So if I create, okay, this is class. Now if I create Subhash object, if I create an object Subhash of this particular class, or if I create, Lakshmi out of this particular class, or if I create Sri Hari, okay, out of this particular class, so what will happen? Subhash has height, weight and name. He has a state. Okay, Lakshmi also has height, weight and name. Okay, and Sri Hari also has a height, weight and name. Okay, so all these objects are having the state, right? Also they should be able to perform some action, right? What are those actions? Subhash can talk, Subhash can walk, Subhash can speak, Subhash can run, Subhash can eat. Similarly, Lakshmi can talk, Lakshmi can walk, Lakshmi can speak, Lakshmi can run, Lakshmi can eat. Similarly, Srihari can talk, Srihari can walk, Srihari speak, Srihari can run, Srihari can eat. Okay, so all these are able to do the behavior. But what changes among all these guys? Tell me. What changes? How will you differentiate between one object to the other? How do you differentiate from them? One object from the other. How will you differentiate? Can you tell me? Okay, what changes? What changes, guys? If you have a human being, you have objects, what changes? Put that in the chat box. What changes? How can Subhash exactly? Okay, the state changes, right? No, so Subhash's height and weight name would be different. Lakshmi's height, weight and name would be different. Sri Hari's height, weight and name would be different. You're understanding what I'm saying? You're getting what I'm trying to tell you? So class will tell you how the object should look like, and object is nothing but the real time object which is getting created out of this particular class. Okay, and each object will differentiate from each other by their state. Is that okay? Is that okay, guys? Is that okay? So who will change the state? Who will change the state of these objects? Tell me. Who will change the state? The behavior will change the state of this object. It means, listen to me. Okay, if Subhash is eating, okay, Lakshmi also will eat, Sri Hari also will eat. If Subhash eat 2500 calories per day, okay, Lakshmi also will eat, okay, 1800 calories per day. Okay, kilocalories, we basically call it as calories, but it is kilocalories. Okay, and Sri Hari will eat 1900 kilocalories per day. So what will happen? Tell me. So all are performing actions, eat actions only. But what changes? Okay, Subhash's weight will change. It will increase more. Yes or no? So Subhash's value of state would be different. Lakshmi's value of the state would be different, and Sri Hari's value of the state would be different. Did you understand what I'm trying to tell you? So this is basically the relationship between your class and an object. Okay, so class will only tell you how your object should look like, and object is just the real object that is getting created out of your class. It makes use of a class to understand how the object should look like. Okay, so how Subhash would look like is described by the human being class. Did you understand what I'm saying, guys? Yes or no? Okay, so what is the difference between class and a object? Class is basically a data type. It is a type. Okay, and object is the real data created out of that type. Type indicates how your object should be. Object is in real, class is not in real. Class only describes that if you create an object of my type, it should look like this, that's all. But who is real? The object is real. It's a real time data. So if you want to describe an object in matured way, then you have to discuss like this. You have to describe it like this. Object is nothing but a real time entity that has a state, that occupies space, okay, and has a behavior. Is that okay? Is this clear? Danya Manjunath. Danya Manjunath,
Yes, sir.
am I right?
Yes, sir.
You have to explain it like this.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Clear, sir.
Awesome. Right. Shall we go to the next one now, guys? Everyone clear? Say everybody clear. Are everyone clear with this concept? Everyone, just say clear if you're clear with this. I'm going to remove this from the, okay, very good. Okay, now listen to me. What is the next one, guys? Tell me what is the next one? What is the next one? What is the next one? What is the next concept? Classes and objects are over. What is the next feature? What is the next feature? It is, put that no in the chat. What is the next feature? I told you. It is encapsulation. Encapsulation. Okay. Yeah. Danya Manjunath, explain me what do you mean by encapsulation?
Sir, encapsulation is hiding the features. It's like protecting your data.
From whom? You're protecting from whom? Who is attacking your data? Why are you protecting? Who and who is that? From whom are you protecting your data? Danya Manjunath.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Yeah, from the unauthorized people.
Who are unauthorized people?
Who do not have the access or
Who
the
are
right
those?
over it.
Who are those?
Who are not the source code users.
Who are not the source code users?
Yeah.
If they are not source code users, then who are they? Don't tell who they are not source code. Who are they?
Sir, it's like somebody who is taking up the source code and misusing it. So
Who
we'll
are
have
those
to
people? Yeah, tell now. Who will take the source code? Nobody will take the source
hackers.
code. Huh? Hackers are.
Hackers.
Hackers are. Why they'll take your source code? If hackers can take your source code, they can do anything, no?
Yes, sir.
If they can see, if they're taking your source code, right, they can definitely change your code only. Then why do you want to actually encapsulate? if they're taking your source code, they can see your class, everything, no? Danya
Yes, sir.
Manjunath,
That's the reason we are protecting it.
how you will protect? What you're
Yes, sir.
protecting? Okay, from you. Okay, how are you protecting? Tell me. That's the reason you're
It's like
protecting. But how you're protecting?
making the class public, private, or
Okay, you're
protected.
learning C++ now.
No, sir.
Then what are you learning? Java.
Python, sir.
In Python, there is public, private, and all. Huh?
No, sir.
No.
I
What are you learning?
find
From where did you get this concept, public, private, and all that?
access specifiers.
Yeah, from where did you get that concept?
I had learned it before, sir. We had it in our
Yeah, which
syllabus.
language? Yeah.
C++.
That's what I asked you. Did you learn it from C++?
Yes, sir. C++
Okay.
and Java.
When you wrote that private, public, and all, that is not source code?
Yes, sir. It is source
That is a
code.
source code, no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is a source code. Now you told hacker will take the source code. If hacker takes the source code, then from if it is private, he can make it public, no? He has a source code, no? He can change the source code, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
So preventing the access from the
My
hackers.
question to you is, listen to me first, carefully listen to the question. Okay, I am not expecting you to tell the right answer, but I want you to actually listen to whatever I'm saying. You said, I told you what is encapsulation. You said hiding the data. Then I asked you from whom are you hiding the data. You told I want to protect the data. Then I asked you from whom are you protecting the data. Then you said hacker. Then I asked why. Then you said hackers will take the source code. If the hackers are taking the source code, then he can change the source code also. No, is my question. So by doing that private public, from whom are you hiding it? Why are you doing that? Is my question. Okay, first of all, are you convinced with your own answer?
No, sir. It's
Yeah.
like protecting it from the hackers, preventing them not to use it.
Preventing them from not to use it. Use it. It means what?
The source code.
Okay.
Or misuse it.
Misusing the source code.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Okay. Who told you this?
No, sir. It's just my assumption.
No, you tell me any dirty fellow told this to you.
No, sir. I have understood wrongly.
Yeah, that is absolutely wrong. Absolutely, 110% wrong. Whatever you have knowledge. You're understanding, no?
Okay. Yes.
So put that all the dirty things from the mind and put it somewhere in the dustbin. All that is wrong. Hackers, bad hackers, and all wrong. That's all not like that. Only problem is you learned C++ for the sake of marks. Did you get marks at least?
Yes, sir.
How much you got?
99.
Out of
100.
99 you got.
Second PU, sir.
In second PU you got 99.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you're what will I say? Anyways.
Just for the sake of marks. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. No, I know, I know, I know. Okay. But anyways, you got 99. That is how the education system is here. Without testing your real knowledge, they gave 99 to you. Correct? No?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Happens. Nothing can be done. Anyways, now let me tell you, it's okay. Let me. Okay. Anyone else? Now this Jyoti is telling from the end user. So Lakshmi Krishna is telling unauthorized people. Lakshmi, who are those unauthorized people?
Sir, no idea, sir. Seriously,
Sunne, bye, bye.
unauthorized people in the sense, suppose if I'm talking in terms of like bank account. Suppose if I am the account user.
That is a different security here.
So
That is a different security. That is not about encapsulation and all that. Anyways, okay. Now we are talking in terms of code. Anyways, okay. Jyoti, from the end user. Tell me, Ma Jyoti.
Yes, so we will not produce the source code to the end user. Just we are giving the function to use.
That is not encapsulation. That is, yeah, in encapsulation include that. That is whatever you're talking about is abstraction. Yes, no.
Okay.
Whatever you're talking about is encapsulation. I mean, abstraction. That is not encapsulation. I'm asking you, what do you mean by encapsulation? Yes or no? Now
Yes,
Geeta
sir.
is telling wrapping up of data. Geeta, come online, come online. Ma. Very good, come online. We will discuss. Come fast. Geeta, you'll come online or not? Geeta will never come online, I guess. Geeta, can you unmute yourself? Unmute and talk to me first.
Sir, wrapping up of data, sir.
Wrapping up of data na means what? Geeta, you're from which place?
Chennai, sir.
Chennai. Solluma, அது என்னம்மா wrapping of data na என்னம்மா அது எனக்கு புரியல. சொல்லு.
Sir, இப்போ வந்து like we are making in a company there are தனித்தனி sector there will be there, sir. In that if I want to access that data, if I couldn't access the another data, so we can make up into a single one.
Okay, you're convinced, you are not convinced with your own answer?
No, sir, but I couldn't explain, sir.
But you know.
Not like this, sir.
Okay, but it is not wrapping up. Wrapping up is a different, I think you meant binding of data, correct?
Yes, sir.
Wrapping up is a wrong concept. Wrapping is a different meaning. Anyways, okay, so anyone else can explain what do you mean by encapsulation? Anyone else? Encapsulation. You would have studied in your college days and all that, if you have done. Not done? Okay. Shall I explain? Say explain. Then I'll explain. If anyone wants a chance to talk to me, I can discuss with you. Okay, Bhavana is telling explain, don't ask us more question. Dirty fellow, explain is what Bhavana is telling. Anyways, I'll explain. Now listen to me. Before explaining encapsulation, I'll just take you back to C language. Okay, I'll take you back to C language because I'll first explain you what is not there in C language, and only then we will be able to appreciate the concept of encapsulation in C++ or Python or Java or any object-oriented language for that matter. Is that okay? Even if you don't know C language, it's okay, but try to understand what I'm saying. I'm not writing some complete C code. I'll just write a skeleton code and I'll try to explain that. Is that okay? Is it okay, guys? Yeah. Okay. Now listen to me carefully. Now listen to me very carefully. Okay. In C language, there is a concept called as structures. I don't know if you know this concept or not. There is a concept called as structure. Do you know this, guys? Put that in the chat box. Do you know the concept called as structure? Do you know that there is a concept? Yes, no. There is a concept called as struct. Okay. Okay. So what is that struct called as? Okay. It is like you create it like this. Okay. Struct book. If suppose, okay. Now assume that I'm writing a library management system. Okay. I'm writing. So can anyone come? Okay. Danya Manjunath, can you come online? Danya Manjunath, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, help me out, okay, with this. Right. Suppose I'm creating a structure for, I'm writing a library management software and I have a structure like this in C language. And how do you describe a book here? You describe your book with, char name. Okay. Char name. Okay. And then the number of pages, I'll call it as int pages. Okay. And then, float price. You'll have a price for the book also, right? So these are the characteristics. Now what I will do is I will actually create an object. Okay, say book, what is the book? I'll say SKU's book SKU. Okay, this is not possible in structure. You have to write the full name. Okay, struct book SKU. Okay, so I have a book name like this. Okay, Danya Manjunath.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now what I will do is I will write one main function there. I will write one main function. Okay, now, okay, now you tell me. Okay, so what all operations can we perform on a library management software? What all operations can we perform in a library management software?
We can retrieve a book.
We can retrieve a book. Very good. So let me write a function for it. Okay, so we can retrieve a book. Okay, we can retrieve a book. I'll call that retrieve a book. Okay, so then what else? Retrieve a book, then
Place a hold on the book.
place a hold on the book. Okay, so what do we call that? I don't know what you call it. Okay, let me write that only. Place a hold on the book. Okay, place a hold on the book. Okay, then on the book, then what else? Place a hold on the book. Okay, then return book.
Yes, sir.
Return book. Okay, then what else? What all operations can be done?
Renew book.
Renew a book. Correct. Renew the book that you have already taken. This is one more action that you can perform in that object. Then what else? Return book. Return book is done. Okay, sort the books.
Yes, sir.
You can sort the books also. If suppose someone asks for the book, you have to sort it based on the character. Okay, sort the book. Then what else? Okay, let us enough. Now, if suppose I want to get into the library management software, first of all, I have to log in, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Login is there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no, right? Okay, so they are saying search a book, checking availability. Yes, all those are there. Now let us now stop here. Okay, now tell me, Danya Manjunath, out of all these functions, okay, so does retrieve a book has something to do with this object book? Tell me. It's a global. You all know that there is a concept called as global. This is global. Okay, global storage classes. I don't know if you know. Remember that it's a global storage class, and everyone can actually access the data of SKU. Everyone can actually go and test this object. Okay. Now, Danya Manjunath, tell me, can this function retrieve a book go and touch this book?
No, sir.
Can it? Why not? It has to do, no? If you want to retrieve a book, it has to do something with this book. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm trying to tell you is that this function has something to do with books, no?
Yes.
Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this has access to a book and it has something to do with the books. What about place a hold on the book?
Yes, sir.
It also has something to do with books, correct?
Yes.
What if it is return book? Does it have something to do with this book?
Yes, sir. Because
Yes.
it is SKU's book.
Yeah, yes, it is some book, whatever it is SKU
yeah,
or whatever it is. So retrieve a book has something to do with book. Okay, place a
Yes.
hold on the book has something to do with book. Return a book has something to do with book, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now renew a book has something to do with book.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, sort the books has something to do with books. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What about login function?
No, sir.
It has nothing to do with books, no?
No.
Yes or no? Login function just needs a username and a password. Okay, if suppose I write a login function's definition like this in C language, okay, so login function is just used to log into the library management software, correct? So librarian will come, open the computer, he will launch the software and he will enter his username and password, correct or not? Everyone just say okay if everybody are okay with that. Just say okay if everybody are okay with that, right? So basically this login function has nothing to do with this books, correct? It only needs a username and a password. That's all. Agree, disagree? Danya Manjunath, agree, disagree?
Agree, sir.
Okay, but still, don't you think I will be able to write SKU dot name is equal to, I will change the name to say R or something like that? Is it possible to do?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible to do? My question to all is that, am I in this login function, though I'm not supposed to touch this book, it has nothing to do with this book, but can I still go and write SKU dot name is equal to R? Is it possible? Not possible. Tell me. In C language, I'm talking about in C language. Will I be able to do or not? Danya, what is your opinion?
Possible, sir.
It is possible. Okay, what about others? What do you feel? Will I be able to do it? I wanted to put that in the chat box here. Possible, not possible. Don't sit simply. Possible, not possible. Why you guys are not chatting anything? I'm waiting for your input. Possible, not possible. Okay, possible. Why possible? Everyone, I want everyone to put that in the chat box. Okay, why is it possible? It is possible because this SKU is basically a global object. Everybody can access it. It's a global data. Everybody can access it, including login. Yes or no? Right.
Yes, sir.
So login is not supposed to do, but nobody is stopping login also from doing it. Agree, disagree? Agree, disagree? I want everyone to chat. Okay, I'm getting angry. Right? If I get angry, gone case. Right? If I'm not getting any reply, I'll just end the meeting and I'll go off. Today's class done. Yeah, I want reply from everyone. It's for you guys, right? Yeah. So listen to me carefully. Login function is not supposed to touch this SKU book because it has nothing to do with books. It needs only a username and password. That's all. But still, no one can stop from writing or touching SKU book details in the login function. Yes or no? Yes or no? Correct.
Yes, sir.
Now, don't you think login function is trying to access a data which it is not supposed to access? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Danya Manjunath.
Yes, sir.
Login function is not supposed to access this data, but still it is going and accessing this data, which is basically a good thing or a bad thing?
A bad thing.
It's a bad thing. It is because it is a bad design. It is basically a bad design. Correct? No. So this login function has nothing to do with the books, but still it is going and touching the book. Some idiot, some dirty programmer who does not know object-oriented programming has actually done this kind of mistake. And the login function is changing the global object. This is called as name pollution or global pollution, or polluting the global object. You're understanding? This is basically called as data pollution, whatever you can call it. There are different people call different things. This is called as data pollution. And a function which is not supposed to go and touch the global object is touching the object and is trying to change its value. It is a bad thing. Correct? No, this is called as data pollution. Agree, disagree? Agree, disagree? Everyone put that in the chat box. Agree, disagree? Yes or no? Yeah. So to avoid such kind of things is where encapsulation comes into picture. Danya Manjunath, it is not about hackers or anything like that. Is that okay? It is not about unauthorized people. It is not about unauthorized, end user and nothing like that. It's all about coding. Okay, so this login function has nothing to do with this global object, but it is going and changing the values of the global object, which it must not do, but it is doing, which is a bad thing, and there is no one to stop it. Okay, no, you cannot stop it because C language does not support that. You're understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Or no?
Yes, sir.
Or no, guys? Yeah, it is like, it is equivalent to this. You are living in a village where there is no police. You are living in a village where there is no police, and this bandit queen is there. Who is that? Bhavana. Bhavana will go and rob everybody's house. That is like this. Okay, no? Why Bhavana will go and rob everybody's house? Tell me. Because there is no police. That is like, that is how C language works. In C language, there is no police, no one to say don't do like this. Though Bhavana is not supposed to do like that, Bhavana is going and doing that. Why Bhavana is going and doing that? Because there is no one to take care of it. Yes or no? What if there was a police? What if there was a police? Bhavana will not go and do, because police will not allow to do it. Yes or no? Okay. C language tells you, listen, but the village is beautiful. Village is very beautiful. Okay. So C language tells you, boss, don't do that. You are not supposed to do that. Don't do that, is what C language will say. But you know what C++, Java and Python or something, some other object-oriented language will tell you, when I'm saying don't do that, it is not request. I will not allow you to do that. I am enforcing the discipline on you, is what object-oriented language will tell you. You're understanding what I'm saying? C language will tell you, boss, don't do it. No, I'm leaving it to you. Please don't do it. I assume you will not do it. Guys, you're understanding what I'm saying? Everyone? Okay. C language tells you, don't do it. And I assume that you will not do it like that. Okay. But there are dirty fellows like Bhavana who will go and steal everything from the people's house. Okay. Even though that village thinks that we don't need police, if we are not supposed to do it, she'll go and steal from everybody's house. Correct? No. Same thing. C says, don't do it, boss. It is not good. You're not supposed to do it. Okay. But still there are people who will go and do that nonsense thing. But C++ says, you're not supposed to do. If you try to do, I will not allow you to do. You're getting what I'm saying? Okay. So that is how. Now I'll tell you how to overcome this problem. Login is, you know, see here, login is what is trying to access this global variable. Now, you know what I will do? Now listen to me, see the screen, what I will do now. Now, I have not discussed Python now, so I'm just taking some random example. Okay, so let me take C++ for now. You know how C++ overcame this problem? In C++, what you will do, you will put that, or in any language for that matter. Okay, any object-oriented language, you will create a class. You will create, instead of struct, you will create a class book. Okay, and then there you will put You know what you will put here? You will put char name, int pages, okay, and float price. You will say float price. You will say like this, and then you will not keep these functions outside like how you did in C language. You will not keep it outside. Rather, you will keep all these functions inside only. What are those functions? Tell me one by one. Retrieve a book, okay, place hold on a book, okay, return book, okay, and sort books, okay. You will keep it all this inside the class, and whichever function is not supposed to touch this, no, you will keep it outside. Login. You understanding what I'm saying? Did you understand what I'm saying? So by keeping this login function outside the class, by keeping this login function outside of this class, you are providing security to these data members. You're understanding what I'm saying, guys? Did you understand what I'm saying? So in this case, as Danya Manjunath was telling, okay, these are called as data members. These are called as data members, okay. These are called as data members, and these are called as member functions or methods. Member functions or methods, okay. So this is called as your non-member functions. These are called as your non-member functions. I'll discuss in detail in Python later, okay. These are called as non-member functions. So what do you mean by this encapsulation? Encapsulation is nothing but binding the data and the functions that operate on this data together, and keeping the non-member function outside the class is called as encapsulation. Did you understand, guys? Encapsulation is nothing but putting your data and the functions together as one entity and keeping the non-member functions outside the class, okay, is basically called as encapsulation. Why did I keep this login function outside the class? If I keep this login function outside the class, I will not be able to access the function, I mean the data that is there inside the class, because I don't belong to this particular class. Understanding? So okay, providing security to this data from these non-member functions which are not supposed to do any activity on these are basically called as encapsulation, or in simple terms, binding the data and the functions that is supposed to act on this data together is called as encapsulation. And in encapsulation, we keep those non-member functions that has nothing to do with this data outside to protect the data members from being changed, from being accessed. Is that okay? Did you understand what is encapsulation, guys? Yes, no? Danya Manjunath? Danya Manjunath?
Yes, sir.
Now did you understand who are those people, unauthorized people?
Yes, sir.
It is not unauthorized people, it is unauthorized code. You understanding? It is not hackers or anything like that. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is not unauthorized people, it is not end user or anything. It has nothing to do with users. It has to be done with, okay, the code, okay. So these are the functions which are not supposed to change the global data. Therefore I will keep him outside the class. I'll bind only those data and the functions together, so that these functions have something to do with the book, let them change it. But non-member functions will not be allowed to change these data. They are called as non-member functions. Is that okay, ma?
Okay, sir.
Clear? Everyone say clear. Not clear. If it is clear, say clear. If it is not clear, say not clear. Everyone, do you understand? Everyone. Yes. Prabhakar is attending the session, not attending. Prabhakar is not replying only. I'm seeing there are many people who are not replying. Yeah, there are many people. Okay, clear. Okay, fine. Right. Okay, fine. Chalo. Okay, shall we go to the next one now? Any doubt, you can unmute yourself and ask me quickly. I'm waiting for you. Anyone? If there is nothing to ask, say no. No, go ahead. Okay, right. Now. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the third one, guys? What is the third one? What was the third one in the list? Classes and objects over, encapsulation over. What is the third one? Hey, Bhavana, no, that was not the third one. That was the fourth one or fifth one. That was the fifth one. Okay. So what was the third one? Polymorphism. It's called as polymorphism. It is called as polymorphism. Okay. Yeah. Now, what do you mean by polymorphism, guys? Tell me. What do you mean by polymorphism? Danya Manjunath?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me what is polymorphism.
It is like using the function for more than one purpose.
Huh? Using function. Hey, in C++, you got 99. Huh? Who gave? You are lying. You show marks card. Take a photo and send. Okay, in the group.
Okay, sir.
Tell me what is polymorphism. Tell me.
It's like many uses of the function.
In C++, how many types of polymorphism are there?
Don't know, sir.
Kirtana, can you unmute yourself and talk to me? Kirtana is telling use
Yes,
of one
sir.
object in different forms. Kirtana A.
Yes, sir.
What is
Yes, sir. Can
polymorphism?
you hear?
Yeah, you have C++ this year.
No, Java.
Okay, tell me what is polymorphism. How many
Like,
types of polymorphism are there?
so there are two types:
What are they?
overloading and binding.
Overloading and binding. What is this here? No, wrong. How many types
Okay.
of polymorphism? Two types of polymorphism are there. One is compile type polymorphism, the other one is runtime polymorphism. Okay, give me example for compile time polymorphism.
Compile time. So no idea.
You are using Airtel,
Yes, sir.
Okay, you said no idea. No idea is, I thought Airtel or what. Anyways, chalo. So, okay, no idea. So you said something using of one object in different forms.
Like we are using same function for different purpose, like
Then you told
reusability.
Okay, then. Okay, then.
We can extend that same thing.
The extending is inheritance.
Okay.
What is polymorphism?
Reusability.
Polymorphism is not reusability. Nagmani is telling it can ability to take more than one form. Okay, fine then. Let me explain it to you. Okay, listen. Okay, how many of you watched this movie called as Onion? Onion. How many of you watched Onion? In Telugu, it is Aparichitudu. Aparichitudu or something. I don't know the spelling. Okay, so Onion. Okay, in Hindi it is Aparichita. Hindi it is Aparichit. Like this. How many of you watched this? By the way, tell me how many of you have not watched. Put that in the chat box. How many of you have not watched? Not watched. Bhavana, what are you doing in life? Instead of watching such kind of movies, what are you doing in life? Not watched. Molly Rai, what are you doing in life, Molly Rai? You have not watched such a beautiful movie. Okay, you have not watched. Okay, so people who have not watched have to go and Supreet, what are you doing in life, Supreet? Come on, Supreet. Okay, not acceptable from Supreet, anyways. Okay, so anyways, anyone else? Who else? Who else? If you're not watched, my question is, what are you doing in life? Okay, so you are supposed to go and watch this movie today. Is that okay? That is your assignment for today. You have to watch this movie. Tell me which teacher will give you such kind of assignment. Okay, watching movies and all that. Okay, you're supposed to watch this movie. Okay, so anyways, so you have to definitely watch this movie now. I don't know if it is there in YouTube or something. Which language? It is there in Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, and all that. I think Tamil was the origin. The first language, the first, it has the origination is from Tamil. Watch it in Tamil if possible. It's really very great movie. It's a really good movie. Okay, so now Danya Manjunath, you have watched?
No, sir.
You also not watched? What are you talking to me now? Then who has watched? You talk to me. Kirtana Ganapati, you have watched?
Yes, sir.
Can you be louder? You have watched? You have not watched?
Yeah, I watched.
You have watched? Okay. Now who is the hero?
Vikram.
How many heroes are there?
One hero, but in three forms.
Hey, you
he will
answer
act.
my question. Don't answer too much.
Like,
Answer my question. How
One
many
hero,
heroes?
one hero.
One
One.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
And who is
Yeah.
that one hero?
Vikram.
Yeah, Chia Vikram. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one. Okay. And that, how many forms he will have actually? How many forms he will take?
Three.
3 forms he will take. Okay, one hero, Vikram, will take 3 forms. What are they? First one.
Remo.
Hey, first one is Ambi, no? What you watch movie? You won't watch
Okay.
movie also properly. Ambi. Ambi is the first. Then second one. He'll say like this, no? Like this, he'll say, no? Remo. He'll say like this, no?
Yeah,
Okay. Remo. Okay. Then final form is what?
Onion.
Onion. Correct. No. So there are 3 forms in this movie. Correct or not? Okay. Only one hero taking different forms. Okay. So that Vikram only will act like Ambi. Vikram only will act like Remo. Vikram only will act like Onion. Okay, I'm really sorry for those people who have not watched the movie, but you have to go and watch that movie tonight itself, or else you will not understand tomorrow what I'm teaching. Okay, please go and watch that movie. Someone said, Nandita Krishna said it is there in YouTube. Okay, so please go and watch. Okay, so what happens? This Vikram, now tell me, what is that? Who is that? Kirtana Ganapati, tell me that. Okay, do you think Vikram will be Ambi in all the scenarios?
No, sir.
No. Based on certain scenarios, based on the scenario, he will be changing. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
When everything is happening good around him, okay, when everything is happening good around him, he will be ambi, correct? No.
Yeah.
When he sees that heroine, who is that heroine? What is her name? Sada.
Sada.
Sada. If suppose the moment he sees Sada, what will happen to him? His hormones will be released in his mind, and he will actually become what? Remo. Correct? No. Until
Remo.
he's
Yes, sir.
until he sees Sada, he will be ambi only. Okay. So based on the
Yeah.
scenario, whenever Sada is there, he'll become Remo. Then when will he become Aniyan?
When he sees something bad or when he gets angry.
No, when he will not get angry. When he sees corruption, he'll get angry. You're understanding?
Yeah.
So whenever he sees anywhere corruption is there, he'll automatically become onion. Correct? No? Right? So there
Yes,
is
sir.
Kirtana. What you watched movie, Kirtana? I should
I
explain
watched
movie also.
years back.
I also watched years back only. What I yesterday before coming to this class, I watched that movie and came or what? What, you guys don't know to watch movie also properly? Yeah, you're Rama. My goodness, what kind of people you are here? You should watch movies very nicely. Whenever I ask question, you must know. Anyways, right? Okay. So anyways, having told that, okay, one hero will act in 3 different forms based on the scenario, based on the input that he gets. Yes or no? Right? So this is basically called as polymorphism. Polymorphism, which is nothing but, called, you can achieve that in object-oriented programming languages using a concept called as overloading. You can concept called as overloading. Okay, few object-oriented languages will have function overloading, and a few object-oriented languages will also have something called as operator overloading, right? So in Python, whether we have function overloading or whether we have operator overloading, or do we have both? C++ has both. Okay, Java has only function overloading. Okay, where in Python we have whether only function overloading or operator overloading is what we'll discuss from in the upcoming sessions. But for now, just understand that polymorphism is achieved in languages like Python or Java or C++ or any language, any object-oriented language for that matter, using the concept called as overloading. Is that okay? Is that okay, guys? Okay, it means, what does it mean? It means is that one function can be made to behave in a different way. Okay, one function can be made, the name of the function will be same, the name of the function would be same, but the function can be used to work differently based on the input that it get. Similarly, in C++, you have something called as operator overloading. It means one operator can be made to behave on in several way. It means in very pure technical terms, it means in C++, when you make an operator to work on a user defined object, that basically becomes operator overloading. Let me repeat, it's not C++ class, I understand, but still for your understanding. Okay, whenever you make any object, okay, whenever you make any operator to work on a user defined object, it becomes your operator overloading in C++. Okay, give me a moment, guys. Just okay, so that is what is called as operator overloading. So you can achieve polymorphism in object-oriented languages using a concept called as overloading, which I'll be discussing in detail later. Did you understand, by the way, what is polymorphism? One entity which takes different forms. Okay, one operator which can be behaved in a different way, one function which can behave in a different way, is basically called as your polymorphism. Okay, many forms, one entity, different forms. Is that okay, guys? Okay, everyone okay? With example, with coding and all. Today no coding. Okay, from tomorrow only we'll start coding. Is that okay? Till here, is it okay? You understand till here? Yeah. Okay, super cool. Anyone, any questions? You can ask me before going further. You can ask me any questions if you have. Yes, no, guys, any other questions? Okay, now tell me, will you watch that movie today? Will you watch that movie today? Yeah, very good. Watch it, guys. It's really very good. Okay, yeah. Now, can I remove this from the screen? Can I remove this from the screen, guys? Yeah, okay. Now listen to me carefully. Now listen to me carefully. What is the next one? What is the next one that we have? Inheritance. We have something called as inheritance, correct? No. So what do you mean by inheritance, guys? Tell me. What do you mean by inheritance? Okay, inheritance is nothing but you have a base class. Okay, yeah, Kirtana, full Kirtana object oriented expert only. Yeah, Kirtana A. Okay, deriving a new class from an existing class. Yeah, so basically you will have a class. Okay, class, I told you, I mean, I will discuss class and all later tomorrow in detail in the coding wise. Okay, so basically you have a class, and when you create a new class out of that existing class, okay, is basically called as your inheritance concept. Inheritance is inheriting from the base class. you'll have a base class, one class is there on that. It's like father-son relationship. Okay, father is there and the son will basically inherit from the father. Okay, so basically that is called as inheritance concept. Okay, so now the question comes like this. Okay, listen to me very carefully, it's very important. Okay, listen to me. So when you go to interview, they'll ask you, if I give you two classes, okay, how will you decide whether you have to really bring in inheritance concept or not between the two classes? You're getting what I'm saying? So in the interview, they'll give you two classes. Okay, two classes would be given to you, and then they'll ask you, how do you actually say whether both should have inheritance relationship or not? You get what I'm saying? Okay, first let me explain you this one. See here, this is basically a class. I'll call it as class A, or let me call it as class father. Okay, now what I can do is I can create one more class. Okay, and I can inherit from it. This means that this class, that is, I'll call this a son or a daughter class. Okay, so this son will inherit all the properties that is there with the father to himself. You're getting what I'm saying? Okay, whatever father is having, it will get inherited to the son. Okay, but the reverse will not happen. Father will not get inherited. I mean, father will not take son's things and all that. You're getting what I'm saying, guys? Yes, no? Okay, father is having a property. Okay, father is having diabetes. Father is having diabetes. Okay, by birth, what will son get? Son will also get diabetes. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Yes, no? Son will get say son will get corona. Son will get corona. Okay, do you think father will also get corona? I mean, nowadays that is also possible, but yeah, by birth, after he taking the birth, he gets corona. Father will get corona. He will not get corona. No? So corona is a bad example. Let me not take corona. Give me some other. The moment you see corona, only will get scared. Anything else is there? Any other disease? You tell me. Chicken pox. That is most chicken pox. Okay, so we'll call it as chicken pox. If son gets chicken pox, do you think father also will get chicken pox? Yeah, tell me. If son gets chicken pox, do you think father will get chicken pox? No, he'll not get, right? But when father is having, when he takes birth, it is guaranteed that he will also have, there are chances that he'll get the heredity, but by heredity problem, he'll also get the problem, right? So that is basically called as inheritance. Okay, now I'll tell you one more thing. Father had diabetes and son also got diabetes. Okay, and then son will go to doctor and cure his diabetes. Just because son went to the doctor and cured his diabetes, do you think father's diabetes will get cured? Will it get cured? No, right? This is how inheritance will work in even object-oriented programming languages also. So what I'm trying to tell you is that, guys, okay, you have one class that has several properties, okay, state and all those things. I'll talk about it later while coding. Okay, just understand, father will have certain property. Okay, when you create another class out of this father class, in technical terms, when son class inherits from father class, okay, or technically if the son class derives from father class, all the father's property will be available to the son, but making any changes to the son's property will not reflect in the father. Along with inheriting from the father, the son can also add more properties to himself. Did you get it, guys? Okay, you want me to repeat once again? Okay, anyways, we'll be discussing this through code, but still, you want me to repeat it? Say repeat, I'll repeat it once again. If you want me to repeat it, say repeat it, I'll repeat it once again. Okay, nobody wants me to repeat, but I feel I have to repeat. I strongly feel I have to repeat. Okay, so I'll repeat. Okay, yeah, so see here, there would be a father class. Okay, let me write it over here. There would be a father class. Okay, so father has certain property. Some properties are there. What and all we'll discuss later. Okay, and now I'll create one more class called as son class. Okay, so when I'm creating the class son, basically I am deriving it from the father. This is not independent. It has been inherited from the son. I mean, son has been inherited from the father. When son inherits from the father, all the properties of the father would come into the son like this. It will come. Okay, no, along with it, son can add his own properties also, which was not there in father. He can also add it. Okay, now along with it, one more thing which I want like to tell you is that if you make any changes to the properties that was inherited by the son from the father, if you make any changes to these properties, right, so it will not reflect in the father. Okay, if you want to change the properties of the father, you have to change it in the father only, but not in the son. If you try to change the values of the properties that was inherited by the son from the father, it will not reflect in the father. Is that okay? Okay, son can inherit from the father, and also son can have his own attributes, and if you make any changes to the properties belonging to the son, that will not get reflected in the father. This is what I want to tell you. This is called as inheritance. Is that okay? Is that okay? Not okay? Okay, not okay. Now, I am going to give you one interview question. Especially, this is asked for experienced people with 1 or 2 years experience. I'll ask you this question. Shall I ask you this question? You want it? I can ask you, or else I'll skip it. You want this? You want this? Okay. Yeah. So the question goes like this. The interviewer will give you two classes. Okay. The interviewer will give you two classes. Say class 1. Okay. Class 1 and then class 2 with random examples. Okay. Like father, son, and all that. And then he'll ask you, tell me, can this class derive from, can class 2 derive from class 1, or can class 1 derive from class 2? You have to tell whether it is possible or not. It is a design thing. How do you decide whether both will have inheritance relationship or not? How do you decide it? How do you decide? This is a question asked. They'll give you two classes, class 1, class 2, and they'll tell you, tell me on what basis will you decide that class 2 has to derive from class 1 or class 1 must derive from class 2? How do you decide whether both should have inheritance structure or not? If there are any common elements, not satisfied with that answer, not satisfied with that answer.
If the data members and member functions are present in both C1 and C2.
Who is that?
Dhanya, sir. Dhanya Manjunath.
I'm telling you that nothing is given. I'm only two boxes are given to you. That's all. Two boxes are given. Dhanya, listen to me carefully, Dhanya. Two boxes are given. I'll call it as C1 class and C2 class. Now the question is, how do you decide whether C1 and C2 will have inheritance relationship or not?
No, sir, it is not.
Huh?
If C2 fits in C1.
If C2 fits in C1.
Yeah.
What do you mean by fits in?
That I don't know, sir. I thought you said only two boxes given, so.
I mean, box in the sense they've just drawn like this. This is class 1, this is class 2, like this. Okay. So when given any two random classes, you have to decide whether they can have inheritance between these two or not. If they can have, then what is that base? On what basis can these two satisfy inheritance relationship? If not, okay, why it cannot? That's the thing. No, not happy.
Are we recreating the class, sir? If it shares the same name of the class?
Here's a name. How can you say that? Yeah, if suppose say who was that father that day? We had one student who became a father, no? Who was that? I forgot. We had Yogesh. Yogesh was there, okay, father, and he had a son. What is his son's name? Pappu, no?
Pappu.
How they're not sharing names, no? How do you decide?
No, sir, if we enforce the name.
No, yeah, no, I'm not happy. Both classes are of same type. Both classes cannot be of same type, no? There can be one class of one type, that's all. And one more, Kirtana, classes cannot be of some type. Only objects can be of some type, Kirtana. Only objects can be of some type. That is, Subhash can be of type human being. Okay, Lakshmi Krishnappa can be, is an object of some type, human being type. That is the thing. Guys, tell me quickly. Inheritance. Quickly, guys. Okay, shall I tell you? If given two classes, okay, okay, now answer before. I don't want to give you answer. I want you to think. Okay, now tell me, if I give you, okay, bathroom, okay, and tub, bathroom and a tub. Okay, this is bathroom class. Okay, and this is tub class. Now tell me, will this have inheritance relationship? Will it have inheritance relationship? I've given you two classes, bathroom class and tub class. Does it have inheritance relationship?
Yes, sir, because
Who will inherit? Tub will inherit it from bathroom, or bathroom will be inherited from
tub is inherited from bathroom.
Oh yeah. How Lakshmi Krishna? How would it inherit? What common properties does?
I thought like bathroom means what all elements you should have. That is one you take.
No. See,
No.
it has to inherit. No, someone has to. Okay, you think bathroom can inherit from tub,
No.
or tub can inherit from bathroom?
No, I thought bathroom contains what all bathroom.
Bathroom contains tub. Yes or no? Or you can call it as bathroom has a tub.
Yeah.
So what if we have an ideal bathroom and then we are recreating from that as a tub, recreating from that ideal bathroom? Because ideal bathroom is something like a blueprint.
Ideal bath. Who is this?
Dhanya Manjunath, sir.
Dhanya Manjunath. Okay, bathroom is a blueprint. Okay, fine. Huh. So using that bathroom blueprint, you won't create a tub, no?
Yes, sir. Why not?
What, you'll create tub using bathroom, huh?
I mean, it's like we have an ideal bathroom over there.
Hey, come on. What nonsense. You have a bathroom here, okay? You bathroom says, okay, tell me, bathroom says, okay. Now bathroom class. Bathroom will say, I need to have, what is that? Which is that brand here? Parryware. I need to have Parryware. What do you call this? Knobs and all those things. I need to have a Syrah sink and all this, and I need to have a tub and all this. It would be, they are all properties of a bathroom, correct? Now, tub is a different class, correct? No, it's a different class. Now, do you think you will inherit tub from this bathroom? Tell me.
No, sir.
Tub is a totally different. Just because you want to answer and you want to win doesn't mean you'll have to talk like that. No. So how can you have an ideal bathroom and then you'll have a real bathroom? What is that? If you have a bathroom blueprint, you will, the object that comes out of is a bathroom only. Bathroom of the real bathroom.
Yes, sir. But then tub is an object in that real bathroom.
So do you think tub is getting inherited from bathroom, or tub is part of that bathroom? I understand.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Tub is part of that bathroom, but tub is not inheriting anything from that bathroom. Is it inheriting anything from that bathroom?
No, sir.
No, then that cannot be inheritance, no? Yes, no?
Yes, sir. I get it.
You get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the interview, they'll ask you, how do you make sure whether two classes are getting inherited or not? Do they have inheritance relationship? Is that two classes has to satisfy is a relationship. It has to satisfy a, what is that? What relationship? It's a very important design question. It has to satisfy is a relationship. Put that everyone in the chat box. Put that everyone. Everyone must put that in the chat box. It has to satisfy is a relationship. For example, listen to me. For example, this is a vehicle class. This is a vehicle class. Okay. Now, then I will put one more class over here. This is called as a car. This is called as a bike. Okay. And this is called as any other vehicle. Any other vehicle here? What is that? Car, bike, and what else you have? Any other vehicle you have? Bus. Car, bike, and bus. Okay. Bus. Okay. So car is a vehicle, correct or not? Car is a vehicle. Yes or no? Car is a vehicle. Then inheritance is possible. Bike is a vehicle. Yes or no? Yeah. Then inheritance possible. Bus is a vehicle. Yes or no? Possible. Now tell me again, car. Okay. I-20 is one. Okay. Again, I-20 is a car. Okay. Then what else? You have Benz. Okay. Benz is a car. Correct. No. Similarly, what about bike? Okay. So classic 350 is basically a bike. Okay. Is a bike. And then what else here? One more you have? Anything else you have? Anything else you have? You also have auto also, no? You have auto, rickshaws. Rickshaws, you will call it as rickshaws. Okay. Rickshaw is also a vehicle, is a vehicle. Okay. Then you have classic 350 Duke. Okay. Duke is that that kids will drive, no? That immatured kids. That white and orange color, that one only, no? Duke. Yes or no? Immatured fellows. This college going 21, 18 to 21 guys who don't have anything to do in life. They are only driving that bike. Dirty fellows. I've seen a lot of dirty fellows like that. What uncles will drive? Tell me, uncles who are married and they will drive. Okay, you know, Royal Enfield. Hey, that Hero Honda dirty. Anyways, chalo. Okay, so Duke is basically a bike. Okay, now bus also, I don't know, different types of bus are there. I'm not talking about it. Okay, now what about Nano? But what about Nano? Nano car, you know, Nano. Okay, hey, you cannot call it as a car. It is a car as well as it is a rickshaw. Yes or no? You can call it as is like a car. It's like I cannot call it as a car. It is also like a auto. Yes or no? It is like a auto rickshaw also. Yes or no? Anyone has a Nano? I'm sorry, yeah, but still, it is like a car and it is like a rickshaw, right? So any two classes that satisfies is a relationship is basically, it means you can basically, it can have inheritance relationship. Is that okay, guys? Did you understand this? Yes or no? So this is how you basically, in your when you get into object oriented programming, right? So using these relationship, is a relationship and all, is what, using this method only you will decide whether two classes has to be, one class has to inherit from other class or not, whether two classes can have inheritance relationship or not, is what is decided based on these kind of questions. Is that okay? Right now, where is our Danya Manjunath? You are there? Danya Manjunath, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now we'll go back to our previous example. Bathroom, you only told, no, bathroom and tub. Okay, now tell me, okay, tub is a bathroom?
No, sir.
Is bathroom is a tub?
No, sir.
Then how it can become inheritance relationship? Not possible, no?
Not possible, sir.
Not possible. But these two has a, what kind of relationship does these have actually? What relationship does this fellow have?
He's like.
No, hey, what is that? Is like a tub is like bathroom, huh? Tub is like bathroom?
No, sir. Classes
Bathroom
and
is like tub? What you're talking? Okay, so what you can say is that, okay, bathroom has a tub. Yes or no? Bathroom has a tub. Yes or no?
yes, sir.
Bath, it is what kind of relationship is it?
Has a tub.
Has a relationship. Okay, has a relationship is basically called as composition. It is called as composition in object oriented programming. Did you understand? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
So what do you mean by composition? Is one object being part of another object. Okay, where tub object is being part of bathroom object is basically called as composition. It cannot be inheritance. Even inheritance is used for reusability, and bathroom is also, I mean, this has a composition is also used for reusability, but you should know when to use what. Just because you want to reuse, you cannot use it, isn't it? You cannot replace inheritance with composition or composition with inheritance, right? So that is the reason we have this concept called as is a, has a. Okay, has a is composition, is a is inheritance. Did you understand this, guys? Did you understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? Correct, no? Everyone understanding what I'm saying? Okay, so now tell me, okay, class car and engine, inheritance or composition? Class car and class engine, it is composition. Why? Because one class car has another object engine. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, engine is part of the class car. Car has a engine. This is called as composition. You cannot say engine is inheriting from car. Can you say that engine is inheriting from car? Is engine having anything common with related to car? No. Okay, engine cannot inherit from car. Okay, so engine can be part of a car. That is why you call it as a composition. Okay, what is the advantage of having this composition, guys? Tell me, what is the advantage of having composition? The advantage of composition is that if one engine is not working, you can replace this component with some other engine. Yes or no? Yes or no? What if all your engine related code you have written within this entire car only? What will happen? Then the entire car has to be replaced. Correct or not? If suppose instead of having this as a separate object, whatever code you wrote in engine was part of this entire class car, then what happened if the engine or car breaks down? What happens? You'll have to change the entire car. Rather, if you follow good object oriented practices, okay, and if you write a separate object called as engine and make it part of the car, and if the engine breaks down, you can only remove that engine and replace it with another engine. And if you want to debug or you want to repair the engine, you need not repair the entire car. You can only repair that particular engine and put it over here back. That is called as composition. All these are interview questions for experienced people, 1 to 2 years experienced people. They'll ask you, okay, what is the advantage of composition? What is the advantage of inheritance? You should be able to answer this. Okay, so they'll ask you, when given two classes, if you want to consider whether it has inheritance relationship or composition relationship, what will you say? You must say, if two classes are given and if one class satisfies is a relationship with the other class, then it can be made as inheritance. Or if one class has a relationship with another class, it can be made as composition. Both are used for reusability. Both are used for reusing the code again, but both are used in a different relationship. What is that? Is a and has a. Got it, guys? Yes or no? Did you all understand what I'm saying? Yes, guys. Everyone, put that in the chat box. Everyone understood? Put that in the chat box. Yes, clear? Clear? Everyone clear, guys? From tomorrow we'll be writing the code. That is why. Everyone clear? Okay, so we'll go with the last one. Okay, what is last one? You want to copy this, or you want to take a picture or anything like that? Want to take a picture or anything like that? Did you understand what I'm saying? Okay, the material is not there for this particular chapter. There is nothing to take. So take a picture and you must recall all these things. After the class, I want someone to actually put all these things in this one with examples and all that, so that you will understand. Is that okay? Right? Yeah. Okay, guys. Shall I move to the next one? Okay, cool. What is the final one? What is the final one? What is the final one you have? Abstraction. Okay. So what do you mean by abstraction? What do you mean by abstraction? Danya Manjunath?
Sir, abstraction is representing the essential details, only what is required.
What is required only will be shown, and what is not required will be hidden, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What is the example? Give me example for that.
Cooking, sir. Cooking a dish. It's like we just eat a food, but then we don't realize how it is made or what.
But it is shown, no. But it is shown. It will be shown what all is there. You cannot make out what is there in the food.
Okay, sir. Let's take a TV remote.
Okay.
So we just press a button, but then we don't know how internally it gets operated.
Yeah, only the interface is given, and the internal mechanism and all is hidden, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I'll give you one beautiful example.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Our human body is there, correct? No?
Yes, sir, correct.
Kirtana, Danya Manjunath, do you know how your heart is working?
No, sir.
Do you know how your kidney is working?
No, sir.
Okay, assume that our body is completely transparent. Assume, okay, we have a skin color, wheatish color and all that. So let us assume that our skin color is completely, like glass, like it is made up of, our body is made up of glass, okay, and we can see all our internal organs. Assume, you're getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Assume everything is shown to you, how the kidney is working, heart is working, everything. Okay, now what could happen? Some dirty fellows would be there. What they will do? They will eat idli. Assume they are eating idli. Okay, now they are eating idli and they will go and stand in front of the mirror. Okay, they will take this idli piece. Okay, they'll put it in the mouth, and they want to see how the idli is transferred or is moving from the mouth to the esophagus and coming to the stomach and all that. Yes or no? And they will see the internal mechanism and all that. Okay, so showing that internal details is good thing or a bad thing? You tell me. If God would have decided to show all the internal details of how it is working and all, is it a good thing or a bad thing? You tell me.
It would be awful.
It would be
awful, sir.
Why?
I mean,
good thing, no, we can see how it is working and all that.
But we are not accustomed to seeing all those.
No, but I'm telling you, if God would have decided, given you like that, first only, if human being were only made like that, other than this, if human being were made like that.
Yes, sir.
So it would have been good or bad?
A good thing.
It would have been good, you're saying, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you are dirty girl, you don't know. I will tell you about some dirty fellows. You know what they would have done? Okay, I'll tell you why it is bad. Okay, God is not brainless. God is brainy fellow. That is why he did not make our body colorless like that glass. I'll tell you why. What is the problem?
Yes, sir.
That dirty fellow I was talking about, no? That dirty fellow, what he will do? He'll put idli piece, okay, and it is traveling from esophagus like this, no? He will try to block it. Just to see what will happen. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then what will happen? Okay, gone case, death only. Okay, and then there are two nice soya beans kind of kidney he will see. He wants to play around with that. He'll go and play around with that like this and all he will do. He will see heart pumping. He will try to stop it. Yes or no? So you might try to mess around with something which is shown to you, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
If I give you some toy to your hand, what you will do? You will try to play around with that, no?
Yes, sir.
So similarly, if heart working, if kidney working, if liver working and all was shown to you, if you were able to see everything, assume if intestine was shown to you, what will happen? Yes or no? You will play around with small intestine, large intestine and all that, and you will damage that you will damage that intestine. Yes or no? Right now.
Yes, sir.
So for that reason, God did not show you. God only is giving you whatever is needed. Correct? Now interface is open. You want to eat food? Eat enough. Don't see how it is working internally and all that. Correct? No, that is basically called as abstraction. Interface exposed, okay, implementation hidden is basically called as abstraction. I'll repeat once again. Interface exposed, whatever is needed is exposed. Whatever how it is working inside is not shown to you, it is hidden to you, it is not needed. Like your remote that you said, like your car engine, okay, a lot of things like that, you don't know how it internally works, only the interface is given. Now the Zoom meeting, do you know how the code has been implemented and all that? You don't know. Okay, only thing is interface is given, Zoom interface is given, and you are talking, you're actually listening to my class like that. Agree, disagree?
Agree, sir.
Agree. Now you are asking me, Subhash, tell me in code, in Python or in programming, where is abstraction? Right now, did we all use this method called as print method, guys? Did we use print method? Yes or no? Have you all used print method, guys? Have you ever bothered how this is implemented? Have you ever bothered? Okay. And it is not necessary for you to bother also. Yes or no? Now, while eating your breakfast or anything, have you ever bothered how it is going and digesting and all that? Because it is not needed. It is doing its job automatically. God has given the system, you're doing it. Similarly, Python has given the print function to print the items on the screen, and you are really not bothered about how it is working. This is an example of abstraction. Okay, now you did. Okay, now you did. What is that you did? If you want to add elements into a dictionary, what did you do? Or into a list, what did you do? Or if you want to delete, what did you do? Actually, you use some methods, no? Did you use methods? Yes or no? Right?
Yes, sir.
List dot dictionary dot update, and d dot update you used, and list dot append you did, and list dot extend you did. You started using such kind of methods, right? So are you bothered about how those methods are implemented? Are you bothered about it? You're not bothered about, because they know that I've developed the library and given to you. You are really not bothered about it. I'll tell you how to use it. Whatever is needed, I'm telling you. Rest I will take care. You don't bother about it, is what Python will tell you. And that is an example for abstraction. Okay, so which is not possible in most of the other programming languages. Okay, yes, abstraction is possible, but others are not possible. Okay, even in C language, printf is there. In C language, printf function is there. Are you bothered about how this is implemented? No, right? Your interface is given to you. You give the parameters to it as input, and it will do the other work. Okay, that is basically an example for abstraction. Is that okay, guys? Do you understand what are these features actually? Yes or no? Did you understand what is object oriented thinking? You got to think like this in a real way. Okay, not just whatever is written in the book. You got to think. This way I call it as object oriented thinking, and not object oriented program. First you know how to think, no, then programming would be easy. Okay, like how to, if suppose given two classes, how to make it as inheritance, or whether it needs to have composition, or whether it has to be abstraction, or whatever it is. Okay, so you must know how to actually work on this. Okay, so having said that, let me quickly recall what are the features, okay, which makes any language an object oriented programming language. First one is what? Classes and objects. Okay, classes and objects. Next, what is it, guys? What is the next one? So you have something called as encapsulation. Okay, encapsulation. Okay, and then what do you have? Okay, you have in a polymorphism. Then you have polymorphism. I told you polymorphism also. Okay, one form, one entity, different forms. Okay, and then you have inheritance. Okay, inheritance. Then what do you have? Then you have something called as abstraction. Okay, abstraction. And then what do you have? You have composition. Is that okay? You have any doubts, you can ask me. Do you have any doubts in the session? Do you have any doubts in the session? Okay, so anything that you close your eyes and you get a definite picture, that is called as what? Put that in the chat box. If you get a definite picture in mind, is basically object. Very good, Reshma. Okay, and when you don't get a definite picture, it is basically a class. It is nothing but a type. So this object will be of some type of this class, correct? And then encapsulation is what? Binding the data, and the function that can operate on that data together is called as encapsulation. And in encapsulation, you keep those functions which is not part of that class as outside non-member function. That is basically called as encapsulation. So you're hiding the data from the non-member functions from accessing it. That is encapsulation. What is polymorphism? You can make use of one entity, okay, in different forms. Okay, either it could be your function overloading or your operator overloading. Okay, yeah. What is inheritance? Any two classes that satisfies the is a relationship is called as inheritance. Okay, what is composition? It must satisfy a has a relationship. That is basically called as a composition. What is abstraction? Just exposing your interface and hiding your implementation details is called as your abstraction. Is that okay? Is it okay? Yeah. So tomorrow we'll start coding with classes and objects, how to create objects, how to create classes, how to call methods, and all these details we'll be discussing from tomorrow. Is it okay? Yeah. So did you enjoy today's session? Yes, no? Okay. Chalo. So meet you tomorrow. Until then, take care. Good night. Bye-bye. See you. Bye. Okay. Yeah, I kindly request anyone to actually revise everything after the class in the WhatsApp group. Just put a gist of whatever we learned today. Is that okay? So this job is given to Lakshmi Krishnappa. And others also can do it. Okay, I have assigned Lakshmi Krishnappa. Others also can do it. Is it okay? Chalo, take care. Good night. Bye-bye.